Hey everyone, welcome to the Tech Grinder podcast, where we are breaking new ground when it comes to the startup ecosystem and pushing past the status quo. But before we get started, the podcast has been created for entertainment and educational purposes only, and nothing in the content should be taken as investment advice. To see the full disclaimer, go to www.techgrinder.com. That's www.techgrinder.com. So let's get started, and we hope you enjoy this episode. Okay, so let's get into it. 2023 has been a very interesting year for technology. It has been the year of generative AI, with generative AI gaining most of the media attention in 2023. But tech layoffs have been the flip side of that, and have garnered a significant amount of media attention as well. But as generative AI has been the darling of technology this year, has the downsizing and tech layoffs had a much more profound effect, and in some ways has it left the world of tech bruised and somewhat battered. Also, it is hard to say this, but we have to ask the question, has the past year left early stage founders feeling like running a startup is simply not that cool anymore? Look, running a startup has always been hard and will continue to be hard, but in the past there was always this excitement and energy that made it very cool. We are simply asking the question, has the entire startup ecosystem been hit with a metaphorical virus that has affected the health of the entire ecosystem? The intense thing about all of this is we need startups, founders, and entrepreneurs to continue to create businesses and in turn have those businesses create jobs. This is where some of the problem lies. In this day and age, the current business environment wants to build startups with a focus on wealth creation, not job creation. This is good for startup founders and their investors, but not so good for humanity. And history has shown us that small to medium-sized enterprises have always outpaced venture-backed startups when it comes to job creation. But you know what the interesting thing is about the business world? They seem to have a hard time understanding that people need to have jobs, and people need those jobs so they have money to buy things. This is also true for small to medium-sized businesses. Those businesses need to thrive so they can employ people and buy products and services from other businesses. This is a very simple business analogy that, if adopted, we feel would have a positive effect on the economy and could maybe even tighten the wealth gap, as well as help with income inequality. So here we are, income inequality. Could it be partially responsible for the tech economic conditions that led to layoffs? Let's look at a possible scenario. If businesses that are selling directly to consumers are experiencing problems, it is not hard to see that this could be connected to income inequality, and the effect of that could be spreading into the business-to-business aspect of the economy, affecting B2B software as a service companies. That is exactly how easy it is to connect income inequality to the current economic conditions. We have said it before on this podcast, that for some folks it may be easy to put the blinders on and say, this is not my problem. But in reality, it is simple to see just by looking at the job market that there is definitely a problem. So let's ask a few questions. How do we get people on board when it comes to tackling the wealth gap and income inequality? And is it possible that trying to solve the income inequality problem could be a huge untapped market, with the potential for large economic gains across the board? We have always believed that there is a huge untapped market when it comes to attempting to solve the income inequality problem, but for now, we will let you ponder these questions. As we saw a few big winners in 2023 in relation to generative AI, for the most part it has been a brutal year for startups, with many startups shutting down. It is not rocket science to realize that a few big winners in the world of technology is not going to move the needle very much when it comes to job creation. As we do this summary of 2023, and with what happened in relation to tech layoffs, it has to make you wonder a bit. Are we seeing the dawn of the long-time predictions that have been made in relation to AI and job displacement? The worrisome part about all of this is that we are still in the very early days and stages of AI. But with 2023 leaving startups shutting down and AI in the spotlight, it is really hard not to wonder if there is a connection. As we begin to come to the end of this episode, 2023 has definitely been a year of ups and downs, and turbulent for the whole startup ecosystem. We will look to 2024 with a glass half full mindset and hope for the economy to run smoothly within the world of technology and beyond. All the best to everyone in 2024. Happy New Year. We hope you like this episode titled 2023, What a Year for Technology. Until next time, thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Tech Grinder podcast. If you'd like to continue the conversation, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Thanks so much for listening. Until next time.